everyone is welcome again. So we are going to start the 2028 mission, right? අපි 2028 batch එකේ වැඩ පටන් ගන්න යන්නේ. So really happy to see you all. ඔයාලා හැමෝම ගැන සතුටුයි. So let's start. I'm going to get my initiative, right? අපි වැඩ පටන් ගන්න යන්නේ. එතකොට so I want to tell you guys, before we are starting our academics, I just wanted to go through all of you about this entire syllabus and what is A-level is all about. And I just wanted to tell you why this business study is impactful for your A-levels. I mean, business studies can subject what in A-levels world. So I know that there are private candidates and there are some people who is from good schools, right? So happy to see you in A-level. So this is kind of advanced level, right? So you have phase for your O-levels, right? So even the name is saying that advanced level, right? So you have faced your ordinary level. So you had to face 9 subjects. Subjects නවයක් කරලා මෙතෙන්ට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. Even though you have done 9 subjects or subjects නවයක් කරත් A level කියන එක ටිකක් ඊට වඩා competitive and advanced. So this is an advanced subject. So I want to tell you guys the importance of A level, right? So first question that we are going to get answers is, first question is, how the A level will be impactful to us. To us. Okay, this is our first question to clarify, right? So we are going to clarify this question. අපිට කොහොමද A level කියන එක impact වෙන්නේ, right? So the first of all, I just wanted to tell you guys. So this is one of the most competitive and toughest exam in Sri Lanka, right? මේක තමයි ලංකාවේ තියෙන competitive and the one of the best examinations that you can test your potential, right? So I will show you guys how this will become competitive. So I'm going to explain it with stats, right? So I'm going to show you guys how many of students face for the 2025 A levels and how many of them got passed from the A level key the pass another, and how many of them are failed from the A level, and how many students got 3A passes, right? So I don't know the expectations of you, right? So I think my admin numbers, the one who doing admin things, send my number to your chat, right? And also I have sent some messages to the WhatsApp chat, so you can directly ask me any questions about anything, right? Academic questions. So yeah, these are the stats, right? So in 2025, right? In 2025, right? 281 and 810. So this is the number who sat for A level, right? Who failed A level. So big number, no? And yeah, so in the same time, I'm going to show you the count that face for the face A levels in commerce stream. Kidere commerce stream making A level face rather. So 59,749. So the people who have done commerce is 59,749. Big number, no? So from this, right? From this and this, right? So let's see how many of the students get at least 3 years passes. That means how many of students pass the A levels. A levels pass to another. So in 2025, so this is the entire number, the entire students. Okkoma A-levels level students lage count එක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. හරි. So in 2025, 176 and 527. 176 and 527. This is the count that who got at least S3 S passes, right? At least got 3 S passes. It means the number that passed the A levels, right? Passed the A levels, right? From commerce stream, right? 39,601 students got passed. 39,601, right? So when we get a percentage, අපි මේක ප්‍රතිශතයක් විදිහට ගත්තාම හරි 62.9ක් හරි 62.9ක් from entire Sri Lanka ලංකාවෙම 62.9ක් පාස් වෙලා තියෙනවා A levels, right? commerce stream එකෙන් පාස් වෙලා තියෙනවා ළමයි approximately it was around 65, right? So let me calculate it. Yeah, 39,000 divided by 39,601 divided by 59,749 into 100. Yeah, 66%. 66 and 27%. Yeah, 66 and 27, right? So this is the percentage that passed the A levels from common stream, right? So it was a big percentage, right? So you can see even though the entire students, comma A levels දීපු කට්ටිය 62ක් පාස් වුණාට commerce වලින් 66ක් පාස් වෙලා තියෙනවා. So this is not our target. This is not the category I want to see you in 2.5 years, right? In 2028 December you will get your results, right? I don't want to let you in this group, this category, right? So let me check. Let us check the count that belongs to 3A passes. අපි බලමු 3A passes ගත්තු ratio එක. So in 2025, right? In 2025, from entire country, 8,300 students. 8,300 students got 3A passes from entire Sri Lanka, right? Not in common stream, all from all the biology and mathematics, everything, right? So yeah, it was as a percentage, it was around 2.95, right? So you can see the percentage, right? It was a minimum one, right? It was a low one, right? When comparing with past ones, only 2.95 students got 3A passes, right? That means this counts will only qualified for the university level, right? For universities, right? Then when we compare when we check the number of the people who got 3A passes for commerce stream, that was 2,111. As a percentage, it was 4.4, right? So you can see from this entire number, 59,749, the only one who selected for university. That means for best universities will be 2,111, right? ලංකාවේ මෙච්චර ප්‍රමාණයක් A levels ලියුවට university select වෙන්නේ මෙන්න මෙච්චර ප්‍රමාණයක්. So I proved the competitiveness of the A levels. right? So I just wanted to see you guys in another 2.5 years from this category, in this category, right? May category ke tamai mata wala daki no one. Since you are studying business studies and you are coming to my class, right? I just wanted to see you guys in this category. Right? So the A level is much competitive, right, than the other examinations, right? So since still we haven't got answers for this, how the A level will be impactful for us. So A level is, I said to you, it was something that you can measure your potential. There are potential measure. First part, you can check your potential. Potential means, students, you can check your courage to do something. You know, ඔයාගේ තියෙන potential එක ඔයා කොච්චර වාට යම් දෙයක් කරගන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා measure කරගන්න පුළුවන්. See, think like you are going to start employment in a bank or any PLC company, right? So you are confident in yourself because you got 3A passes for the most competitive exam in Sri Lanka, right? You got the courage and you got the self-confidence, right? So this potential is positively related to the confidence, right? Confidence, right? This is positively related to your confidence, right? Think, student, you are going to start your own business, right? So you feel like even the toughest exam I got 3A passes, so I can manage it, right? So in any field, right? In any field, you can build your confidence because you got 3A passes for your A levels, right? And the next thing, right? This is something something qualitative to our life, right? So there are many quantitative things. So next one is you can access for the government universities, right? You can access or you can go to government universities. Okay. So I know some of many students, right? Many students are thinking that the government university is not actually impactful for your life and it is not something much important, right? But I'm suggesting you to go to a government university because since you are not willing to go abroad for your higher studies. පිටරට අධ්‍යාපනයට යන්නේ නැත්තම් හරි විදේශගත වෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් ඉන්නේ නැත්තම් I am suggesting you to go to a government university, right? So these are the benefits, right? So when we think, right, I'm also a government university student. My university is the number one university in Sri Lanka, University of Colombo, right? So for management studies, for accounting, the best university, number one university is Sri Lanka, Sri Jayawardenapura, right? So, but still, the management for finance students and for economic students, Colombo is also the number one, right? For accounting, the Jayawardenapura will be the number one, and also there are a lot of government universities, right? So since you can go, still you can go to Peradeniya University, Kalaniya University, and there are Wayamba University, right? So lot of government universities. So this is the importance, right? So when you are going for a private university, students, right? When you are going to a private university, actually at least you have to pay 30 lakhs for your bachelor, right? 30 lakhs, right? 30 lakhs, right? So there is something you have to pay, right? 30 lakhs. So I don't know whether your financial status, right? For some students, this will be a low amount, right? We can make a samara connector than in a right? So it will be different, students. I can make a වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඔයා යන යුනිවර්සිටි එකත් එක්ක වාගේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක අඩු වෙන එක ප්‍රයිස් එක අඩු වෙනවා. හරි? So still you have to pay 30 lakhs, right? අර ලක්ෂ 30ක් ගෙවන්න වෙනවා ඔයාගේ university education. Someone even all the students in Sri Lanka, right? Not even ordinary students. Even the businessman students are getting a bachelor, right? And someone business karna student kenek una old kenek. Even they have family businesses. Everyone is doing a bachelor because for every place, right? Bachelor is still important. Again, bachelor's degree kenek anivariyam වැදගත්. Right? So after you got your A-level results, definitely you have to do a bachelor's degree, even though you are going for a business or even though you are going for a employment, right? Job එකට ගියත් or business එක පටන් ගත්තත් මොකක් පටන් ගත්තත් to manage your reputation to and also uh, for your image, right? The bachelor's degree will be very important. Bachelor degree හරි වැදගත්. හරි. So there is an opportunity cost of this 30 lakhs, right? So when you are going to a government university, definitely you can get a good recognition to your life. And also, right, you can save this 30 lakhs, right? So from this 30 lakhs, there's an opportunity cost. If you are doing economics, right, you will learn about opportunity cost, the term opportunity cost in a explained manner, but still we are doing in business we are doing business studies. I'm not going to deeply explain what is opportunity cost, right? So opportunity cost means something that you are actually something that you are rejecting for some good decision, right? It's a simple meaning, right? So think you can use this 30 lakhs for an investment, right? Investment for start a new business, and for you can invest your money in treasury bills and for in stocks, right? And yeah, there are a lot of investment opportunities now in Sri Lanka, right? So you can invest this amount, right? What amount you invest karanna puluwan. And you can even purchase something valuable to you, right? So something valuable means you can you can purchase a vehicle or property, right? So for nowadays we can't purchase an entire vehicle, but you can at least you can put your down payment, right? So vehicle or a property, right? So you see, and also you can invest, right, this amount in professional qualifications. Professional qualifications. Professional qualifications. Okay, students, right? I'm going to tell you, right? Even though you done a degree or degree ka kara, what අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම professional qualification එකක් අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඔයා job එකක් කරනවා නම් ඒ job එකේ උඩට යන්නේ. ඔයා business එකක් කරනවා නම් කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හරි? But since you are doing a job, right? ඔයා job එකක් කරනවා නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඔයා job එකේ උඩට යන්න to go to a higher level, to go to a higher rank, right? You definitely need a professional qualification. I'm going to show you what are the professional qualifications for our commerce students, right? So there are a lot of professional qualifications. Students, if you are doing accounting, right? If you are specializing accounting and finance, right? Accounting, right? You can do simply CA, right? You can invest this 30 lakhs in chartered accountancy, right? And you can invest your money, right, in SEMA, right? SEMA is also a professional qualification, right? So the CA will be more recognized, more valuable in Sri Lanka, and SEMA is actually accepting in globally, right? CEO is accepting globally, right? But SEMA is more valuable for global businesses, right? And also there is ACCA, ECA, right? And also, right, you can do and a double AD, right? Double AD is actually it will cost around only 2 lakhs, but it is also a professional qualification, right? And students, right? And students. So this is for accounting, right? So if you are investing your money in professional qualification for accounting, so these are the options, right? You can invest this money in these professional qualifications, right? Then the next one, accounting, right? If you are doing marketing, right? If you are specializing in marketing, right? You can do students Chartered Institute of Marketing or Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, right? Slim, right? If you are doing marketing, you can go to this SIM or Slim, right? SIM or Slim, right? So these are the professional qualifications if you are going to improve your life through marketing, right? So I don't know whether you are highly capable in convincing people and negotiating people, and you are good in soft skills, right? If you are good in soft skills, right, this will be the marketing will be the best for you, right? And if you are doing your think you are going to think you are supposed to go for a bank, right? Or bank එක වැඩ කරන්න යනවා. හරි. එහෙමනම් ඔයාලා start කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. Banking. That means banking means IBSL, right? Think you are willing to go for a bank, right? You can start IBSL, right? If you are going to do your things in economics, right? Or economics වලින් ඉස්සරහට යන්න යනවා නම්. හරි. Econ. If you are going to I think the mark pen is not working well. Mark pen එක හරියට ලියවෙන්නේ නැහැ. මම හිතනවා මේක පේනවා කියලා. So if you are going to do your occupation or anything in economics, right? So actually the workplaces are actually if you are doing economics, you can go out for a bank or investment bank and the central bank, right? So there is a good opportunity if you are doing economics, right? If you are specializing in economics in university, you can go to the central bank, right? So if you are having that ambition, I can show you that part, right? So central bank, yeah, starting your salary from 5 numbers, right? Lakshan tamai salary ka patan garne, right? So you can start investing in the programming languages like Python, right? Python. So it's not working properly. Python, and you can start a data science degree, right? Data science degree, right? So Python and data science, right? So these are the things that you can invest. So data science කියන එක ළමයි වැදගත් වෙනවා අපි data දැන් මොකද economics කරන subject account special කරන ඉන්න student කෙනෙක් මහා බැංකුවට ඔයා එහෙම නැත්නම් bank එකට වගේ යනවා නම් you have to do macro researches. So this Python language and this data science degrees are actually very important to you, right? So these are the things that you can invest your 30 lakhs. So I'm suggesting you guys to work to go to a government university, right? So you can save this money and invest this money. Even students, right? You can spend this money to do favor for you, right? Do any favor for you, right? Even for clothing, right? Even for foreign tour, right? So you can do anything, right? You can purchase anything for your life, right? So go to a government university. It was free and it was standardized, right? So let's so we have discussed how the A level impactful to us, right? You can measure your potential and you can go to a government university, right? And you can build a good image in your life if you got 3 A levels, and you can build good confidence in your life for throughout your entire life. Okay, entire life එකේ මොකට මේ confidence එක තියෙනවා ඕනෙම කාර්යයකදී ඕනෙම තැනකදී. හරි. So let's go to this ratio. අපි මේ ratio එකට යන්න වැඩ කරමු මේ අවුරුදු දෙක ඇතුළත. හරි. So I'm going to clean the board, students, right? You can take a screenshot what I'm trying to explain to you. මම මොකද්ද මෙච්චරලා explain කරේ කියලා ඔයාට තනියෙන් බලා ගන්න බලන්න students. I think ඔයාලට මේ කියන පිටු 120 පොතක් වගේ ළඟ තියාගන්න. හරි? මම මේ කියන additional දේවල් මේවා ගොඩක් වැදගත්. These things are very important to you, right? So to stay in track, right? To stay in your track for these 2 years, right? These will be reminding, these things will be reminding you, right? This will be reminding, this ratio will be reminding you this is tough exam, right? So if you are disciplined students, right? ඔයාට හොඳ විනයක් තියෙනවා නම් හරි. ඒතර මම කියන්නේ ඔයාට නිදි වරාගෙන වැඩ කරන්න ඕන කියලා හරි. So you can stay a balanced life if you have a discipline, right? So again, you just need to do things in the right time. Like, කන වෙලාවට කන්න, බොන වෙලාවට බොන්න, enjoy කරන වෙලාවට enjoy කරන්න. හරි. කියන අපි යාළුවෙක් chat කරද්දී enjoy කරද්දී අපිට එතන වෙලේ පාඩම් කරන්න බෑනේ. So you can't do that, right? So you can enjoy that in that moment, right? What you can do is do studies at the time you are studying. Stay away from your phone if you are studying, right? So you can keep your laptop or computers to study because when you are studying, there are some things you want to clarify if you are studying when you are studying. අමනාඩි පාඩම් කරද්දී ඔයාලට clarify කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා, Google search කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. So even now the AI platforms are very developed, so you can start search anything in milliseconds, right? ඔයාට හැම දෙයක්ම ඉක්මනට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට stay away from your phone but keep the laptop with you. ඒ කියන්නේ laptop එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. මොකද when you are using your mobile, you are actually going your actually attention will be going to your mobile phone because notifications will be popping every time, right? So if you are having a discipline, this will be a easy task, right? So stay always touch with me, right? So do always everything transparent with me, so you can achieve this 3 years, right? You can achieve this ratio, right, students? Okay. So after so I will be I will provide this recording to you, right? You can actually record everything, right? You can write everything in your paper. So just for now I'm going to clean the board, right, to go to our next phase, right? So this is the first question that we got answers. I'm going to give Asani another question and we are going to discuss that, right? So we got answers for the first question. And this is our next question. This is our next question. How the business studies will be important to us. What is the importance of business studies? This is our second question. What is the importance of business studies? Okay. Business studies. Okay, students. Since you are doing business studies or business studies ඉගෙන ගන්න නිසා අපි මේකේ importance එක මේකේ වැදගත්කම දැනගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. හරි. So මොනවා නැතත් ඔයාලට කවුරු කෙනෙක් ඇහුවොත් ඇයි ඔයා මේ subject එක කරන්න කියලා you can explain that. right? ඔයාලට මේක explain කරන්න පුළුවන්. So this is the answer. Right? The question is what is the importance of business studies? Business studies ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. හරි. Business studies තමයි අපේ university education එකට ගොඩාක් support එකක් වෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ හේතුව we are going to do a management degree, right? Even though you went to Japura University, even though when you went to a Colombo University or Colombo University, get Japura gaya, California gaya, Korea gaya, when you are doing commerce, right? You have to do a management degree, right? You have to do a management degree, right? So when you are doing management degree, right, the entire business studies syllabus, right, entire business studies syllabus will be giving you a pathway to management, right? I will explain, right? In business studies, students, right, the entire grade 13 syllabus is consisting with management. 13 සියල්ලම තියෙන management related things, right? So that I will show you, right? The 12th question, introduction to 12th lesson, right? Introduction to management. The 13th lesson, धातुंगिनी part में operation management. The 14th lesson, marketing management. 15th lesson, financial management. 16th lesson, human resource management, HRM. And 17th lesson, information management. Information management. So you can see, students, right? All these lessons consisting management, right? So the foundation of entire Bachelor of Business Administration or Bachelor of Business Science or anything, right? Kalam University, Japur University, Gilla, Bachelor එකක් කරත්, right? Bachelor of Business Science or Monato University Gilla Business Science degree එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. So even though you went to Japur University or Monato or anything, right? Your management area will be covered in this business studies, right? So that is one importance, right? එක වැදගත්කමක් තමයි, right? එක වැදගත්කමක් තමයි management degree consisting from this BS syllabus, right? The next one, why business studies is important, right? Students, we are discussing, right, from the first lesson, what is business and what are the business concepts and what are the types of business and what is a business environment and how to start a business, right? What is entrepreneurship, right? And how to finally, at the last session, at the last lesson, we are discussing how to build a business plan, right? So you can be a businessman by yourself, right? You can be an entrepreneur by yourself, right? Actually, from this academic, from this study, right, you build a foundation to do practically do these things, right? These are the theoretical things, right? You can do these things by yourself in your real life, right? You can start a business, right? And also, right, since you're studying all the recent updates and you're studying business environment, right, you actually have a good knowledge to be a respectable person in country, right? You can be a respectable person in a country. Why? What is the reason? Since you're watching, news, right? You can understand everything in the news. The person that who explaining again news වල කියන හැම දෙයක්ම ඔයාට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. ඒ වගේම when you are going to a store, right? You can find a good, right? You can actually compare the goods, right? Or again, you are learning about the standards, right? So you can check those standards. You can watch the maximum retail price, everything, right? You can be actually a good customer, right? You can be actually a good customer, right? So these are the importance of business studies, right? So if someone asks from you, right, what is the importance of business studies? These are the importance, right? So you can take also a screenshot again, right? And also you have to prepare a beautiful note from these, right? Students, you need to send me tomorrow, right? Tomorrow you need to send me the exact note you got from these things, right? I will be providing you the tunes for business studies, right? මම ටියුට් ඔයාලගේ ගෙදරට මෙවනවා කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් කරගන්න එපා, right? So මේකෙන් හොඳ note එකක් ලස්සන note එකක් හදලා මට පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ. So you have to send me WhatsApp images, or you can send me a PDF after scanning it, right? So again, take a screenshot, students. Okay, I hope you got a screenshot. And again, I'm going to erase the board, right? So students, now we are going to learn about our syllabus, right? Our business studies syllabus, right? Now we are going to learn about our business studies syllabus, right? So I'm cleaning the board. So since you are since you are studying you are joining to the session through a laptop, students, you can actually get a screenshot easily from there's a print screen button, PRTSC, right? From that button you can take a screenshot easily. And if you are using phone to join the session, right, you can easily take a screenshot to know. So yeah, that is the way that we are getting screenshots, right? So we got overview about our subject, right? Now we are going to learn the syllabus in the business studies, right? This is the contents. These are the things that contain in the business studies. Syllabus of business studies. Okay, students. So we have to learn 2 years, right? Grade 12 and grade 13, right? Grade 12 and grade 13, right? So in grade 12, students, we have to discuss 11 lessons, right? In grade 12, right? We have to discuss 11 lessons, right? Okay, lesson number 1, introduction to the business. Introduction to the business. So this is the number 1 lesson. This is the lesson number 1, students. So let's imagine you are going to start, you are going to build a house for yourself, right? So already you might have a house for yourself. But assume, like, imagine, right? You are going to build a house for you, right? So think you already purchased land for you, right? Think already you have created a plan for your building, right? Already then plan එකකුත් ඇඳලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි. But what is the next step you have to take? මොකද්ද ඊළඟ step එක හොයාගන්න. So send me a message, or anyone can tell me what is the next step that you are going to take when you are building a house. Please tell me, anyone. මොකක්ද මුලින්ම කරන්නේ ගෙදරක් හදන්න? දැන් ඔයාලා plan එකකුත් ඇඳලා තියෙන, ඉඩමකුත් අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. What is the next step? Does anyone know? කවුරුහරි දන්නවද? අපි ගෙදරක් හදද්දි මොනවද මුලින්ම කරන්නේ? What is the first initiative? What is the first step that we are taking when we are building a house? කවුරුහරි දන්නවනම් කියන්න. You can if you are not confident in speaking yet, you can send me a text, right? But when you are sending text, you can definitely you have to send to the business class one, or you can actually send to the everyone's chat, right? No worries. I'm not calling you by names, Pitala. Right, please cooperate with me. Does anyone know the next step that we are taking? I'm checking my inbox. Still no messages there. අනේ පුතාලා respond කරන්න. I feel like I'm in the desert when you're not responding. මම desert එකේ ඉන්නා වගේ දැනෙන්නේ ඔයාලා respond කරන්නේ නැතුව නම් කාන්තාරයක තනි වෙලා වගේ. ඔයාලා මොනවද කරන්න යන්නේ ගෙදරක් හදන්න යද්දි? මුලින්ම. Okay, right. So one responded, right? What you are going to do? You are going to build a foundation, right? මුලින්ම මොකද කරන්නේ? Foundation එකක් හදනවා. හරි. ගෙදර හදද්දි මුලින්ම මොකද කරන්නේ? Foundation එක හදනවා. එතකොට කොහොමද foundation එක හදන්නේ? Foundation එක හොඳට හැදුවේ නැත්නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඉතුරු ටිකට මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒක බිත්ති කඩන් වැටෙනවා නේද? Your walls will be broken, walls will crack in few days if you are not prepared your foundation very well. So this is also foundation to our syllabus. The introduction to the business will be a foundation to our business syllabus. Students, this is very important, students. Right? This is like a foundation, right? So even this this lesson contains most of the periods, right? So from the business studies teachers guide, right? Most of the periods are allocated to this lesson, right? මේ පාඩමට තමයි වැඩිපුරම කාලච්ඡේද ප්‍රමාණයක් වෙන් කරලා තියෙන්නේ, right? So it will be actually having around 50 periods, right? 50 periods means, students, 50 into 45, I think. Score like a period එකක් 45 minutes වගේනේ තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට 45 වලින් එක multiply කරපුවාම 5 yeah and yeah yeah, you have 200, right? Yeah, 2000, right? 2000 minutes, right? 2000 minutes in divide by 60 means there will be yeah. And 2 33, right? 33 divided by 2 hour sessions, right? We will get around 1 and 13 divided by 2, it was around 16 and a half, right? Approximately it was around again a pair. So finally අපිට sessions 16.5 again teachers guide එකේ allocate කරලා තියෙන time frame එක අනුව අපිට sessions 16.5 කියන්නේ sessions approximately 17 sessions. ඒ කියන්නේ දවස් 17ක් අපිට මේ පාඩම කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩිපුරම අපි අවධානයක් දෙන්න ඕනේ පාඩමක්, because this is one of the best and one of the most important lessons in our syllabus. Lesson number 1, right? So that is very important, right? So that is introduction to business. Then second lesson, business social responsibilities. Business social responsibilities. business social liabilities. Okay. So even though, right, even though we have good amount of money, even though we have lot of money, salary kochara tibbad, right? So even though we have a good salary, kochara salary tibbad, right? It doesn't matter even if you are not a good person. Or hondela mek natta honda pudgalek neveyi na. Hari, what a salary kochara tibbad tadak ne. Hari. So it is also allocated, we can also allocate this thing to business, right? Yeah, business wala, hari, or innova, stakeholders. Who are stakeholders? Owner of the business is a stakeholder for business, right? And the employees of the business is a stakeholder for business, right? And our customers are stakeholder for a business, right? Government and your suppliers, right? So there are a lot of stakeholders, right? So if we are getting something from them, right? We need to give something good for them also, right? That is business social responsibilities. We are discussing that thing in the second lesson. Actually, this is the biggest lesson in the syllabus, and also this is the smallest lesson, students. Right? We can easily do this lesson, right? So this is the biggest lesson, and this is the smallest lesson, right? And students, right? The next one, right? Lesson number 3, the government and business, right? We are discussing government, government and business, right? As for the lesson number 3, right, we are discussing what are the requirements, what are the economical requirements of the government, and what are the requirements of the businesses, right? What are the requirements of the businesses, right? And also, that means what are the expectations of the government and what are the expectations of the businesses. And also, right, how the government is work for the expectations of the business and how the businesses are working for the expectations of the government, right? We need to discuss the relationship between government and business, right? And also we are discussing some government policies like uh, monetary policy and fiscal policy, right? If you are watching news, right, you can actually always actually you can always heard about monetary policy and fiscal policy, but still you don't know about that, no, right? We are deeply discussing those fiscal policies and monetary policies, right? And also in this third lesson, right, we are discussing about consumer responsibilities, right? Consumer responsibilities. When we are acting as a consumer in the economy, right? We have some responsibilities, right? And also we are having some consumer rights, right? We are discussing about these consumer rights and consumer responsibilities in third lesson, lesson number 3, right? And students, right? The lesson number 4, authority department. Here we are discussing about business organizations, right? Here we are discussing about business organizations. අපි මෙතනදී කතා කරනවා business organizations කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා. හරි. So we have to discuss two types of business organization, private business organizations and government business organizations. We know that, right? There are private businesses, a lot of private business. There are sole proprietorships, right? Partnerships and cooperative companies, right? And cooperative organizations and also PAs, public limited companies, private limited companies, right? So there are franchises, right? There are a lot of business organizations, right? We are discussing everything one by one, right? And also when we come to government businesses, right? So there are government departments, right? So government business organizations, like, so, oh, what happened? Students, electricity was gone, right? ඒකනේ. ඔව් අප්පා. Beg your pardon, students, for the disconnection. With an electricity here, I think. Are you disappointed? Hey, to me, I inform kalla tibbet na. Since I'm using SLT fiber, I know also I'm staying under this lightning, right? So this even without this lightning, you can't see the board properly. So that is the reason I got disconnected. But I inform kalla tha मैं एक बार इलेक्ट्रिसिटी डिस्कनेक्ट करके क्या प्रश्न है अरे hari වැඩක් so when we are doing something we got so many barriers අපිට වැඩක් කරගෙන යද්දී ගොඩක් barriers එනවා so ඒවා හිතන්න එපා so let's start again right so we have discussed about the business organization right so the fourth lesson that we have discussed business organization so I said you like we have to discuss private business organizations and the government business organizations right so yeah, this is lesson number 4, right? We are discussing actually for the features of those businesses, how those businesses are formed, right? So how we can start this kind of a business organization, right? So how can build a franchise, right? What are the regulations to start a franchise? Likewise, there are a lot of things. Okay. So the lesson number 5, entrepreneurship. Right, entrepreneurship, right? So we are discussing who is an entrepreneur, right? What are the difference between business and an entrepreneur, right? What are the features of a good entrepreneur, right? So that is our fifth lesson, lesson number 5, right? So in lesson number 6, we are discussing small and medium scale businesses, and we can say SMEs, right? Small and medium scale enterprises, right? So we are discussing SMEs in lesson number 6, right? So when we are suppose we are supposed to start a business, right? We can't start a large business at the first shot, no, right? We have to do it smaller, right? So after that, we can step by step, we can build a small micro scale business into scale business and more small scale business into medium scale business and to large scale business. Likewise, we have to grow step by step, right? We are learning about the how small scale businesses are formed and how we can fund for the small scale businesses, right? That is our 6th lesson, right? In 7th lesson, right, we are discussing about money and financial institutions, right? Money and financial institutions. Okay, students, right? So you know how the money was evoluted up to now, right? So evolution of money, you know about evolution of money, right? The money and also we are discussing that thing in the lesson, and also we are discussing about financial system, right? What kind of financial system Sri Lanka is having, right? We are discussing about financial institutions, right? And financial instruments and financial infrastructure, right? And financial institutions, infrastructure, right? And also regulatory authorities. Likewise, we are discussing everything related to money in this 7th lesson, right? So also we are discussing about financial literacy, how financial literacy is important to us, right? So think you are having 5 lakh income in the month, right? But if you are not having a financial literacy or financial literacy right? You can't be a rich person. You can't be actually build a good wealth, right? What a local wealth, wealth, if you are not having financial literacy, right? So we have to know about the art of making money, right? Art of building wealth, right? So I'm suggesting you, student, right, for financial literacy, there are some books, right? So I'm also having some those books like this, right? So you can start reading these books, right? So I will suggest this book, and also there are some very important books for you, like Atomic Habits, right? So it was actually, the name is inappropriate, but the book is good. The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, right? So it was not actually a bad word, right? So that the name of that book is that one. Actually, it will teach you how to focus on something without looking at the actually the external obstacles, without looking at external obstacles, how to focus something. Yeah, that is the name of book, right? I'm not going to repeat it, right? So yeah, that is lesson number 7, right? And also we are going to discuss lesson number 8, insurance, right? So insurance is very important, right? We have to manage our risks, right? To manage our risks, to manage our risk of business, right? To risk of our life, right? We have to. The insurance is very important. And the next lesson, right? We are going to discuss communication. Students, communication is also very important, right? Without effective communication, nothing will be matter, right? Nothing will matter without proper communication, right? That's why I'm always telling you, right? Please cooperate with me, right? So I'm not, no, I know, I'm not knowing whether you have got the message, right? You have got the message, you have got the desired message that I'm sending to you, that I'm telling to you, right? I don't know whether you understood the lesson, right? So every time, right, you have to cooperate with me. Please send me a text or anything, right? So I'm telling you, right, in actually in communication, right, there's a sender and there's a receiver and there's a message and also there's a reply, right? So I'm always want replies, right? So yeah, that is the way that we are communicating, right? So effective communication is very important even for the businesses and for our life, right? Even for our education, right? So the stand is shaking, right? Yeah. I think now it was okay. All right. So we have discussed the lesson number 9, communication, right? So the lesson number 10, right, is transportation and warehousing. Transportation and warehousing. So we know that there are different modes of transportation, right? In Sri Lanka, there are different modes of transportation, and there are ways of doing warehousing, right? There are different ways of doing warehousing, right? So uh, transportation matters, and also warehousing matters for the businesses, right? And for our sorry, I got something wrong here. Right, lesson number 7, 8, 9, and this is lesson number 10, right? In the lesson number 11, right, the trade, right? We are discussing trade and international trade, right? We are discussing trade. How the trade is happening, right? As lesson number 10, lesson number 11, we are discussing trade and also the international trade, right? How import is happening, how exporting is doing, right? And how re-export is doing, right? And what are the international organizations, right? What is IMF? What is World Bank? What is Asian Bank? Like this, we are discussing about those organizations also, right? So that is lesson number 11, right? So these are the things that we are going to learn in the grade 12. මේ දේවල් තමයි අපි grade 12 වලදී ඉගෙන ගන්න ළමයි. හරි? So I'm going to go to grade 13. grade 13, we are starting from the lesson number 12, right? That is Introduction to Management. Okay, students, right? I said to you, right? When you are building a house, right? When you are building a house, we need proper foundation, right? So here we have got the proper foundation, right? Now we build the walls of our house, right? Now we are going to build the next step of our house, right? The next floor of our house, right? We are going to build a two-story building, right? So this is the slab, right? When we are building a second floor, right? We should have a proper slab to our house. Otherwise, the second floor will be collapsed, right? So to build a strong second floor, right, we should have a proper slab, right? That is, this lesson is like a proper slab, right? So to build the next thing, right, to build the next lessons, right, to learn the next lessons, this lesson also will be very important to us, right? Introduction to the management, right? This lesson is also containing lot of periods, right? Like, ස්කූල් ටයිම් වල ගොඩාක් පීරියඩ්ස් වේකට වෙන් කරනවා. ඒතර සමහර වෙලාවට ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඉතින් ස්කූල්ස් වල නම් ඒතර උගන්වන ගුරුවරු ඉන්නවා, හොඳට උගන්වන ගුරුවරු ඉන්නවා සමහර ස්කෝලවල. හරි. But the most of the schools actually not teaching properly, right? So මේ lesson එකටත් ලොකු පීරියඩ් සංඛ්‍යාවක් වැය වෙනවා. So that means in our class also we have to spend a lot of time on this, right? So then, lesson number 13. 13 වෙනි පාඩම. Operation management. Operation management. So students, right, all the organization, in every organization, right, the main activity is called the operation, right? So think, let's get an example like bakery, right? In a bakery, right, the main operation is build cakes, right? Build cakes is the baking cake is the main operation in bakery, right? In a garment, sewing clothes is a main operation. In a garment, main operation. So we are here discussing how to do that operation properly in a proper way, right? How to do it efficiently and effectively, right? So here we are going to discuss, right, the art of operation management. We are discussing how the operation management is done, right? So our next lesson, marketing management. Marketing management. So here we are discussing how to market something, right? So what are the types of marketing, right? How the marketing was what is the evolution of marketing, right? So we are discussing everything here, right? And also the 15th lesson, right? Financial management. Financial management, right? Here we are discussing how the companies are growing their wealth, right? How they find capital for themselves, right? How they find capital for the business. Again, how the කොහොමද ප්‍රාග්ධනයක් රැස් කරගන්නේ ආයතන වලට, හරි? How they manage that funds, right? So what kind of areas they are investing, right? So everything here we are discussing, right? And also we are discussing the financial instruments also here, right? In financial management, right? So the next lesson is human resource management. Human resource management. Here we are discussing HRM, right? Human resource management, right? So how to attract employees to our business, right? How to actually select a good employee, right? And how to grow them, how to train them, right? How to develop them, and how to compensate them, how to pay the salary of them, right? Yeah, and what are the job descriptions, right? So there are some things that we have to discuss when you are going to a company as an employee, right? So we are discussing that simple things also, right? ඉතින් අපි human resource management ගැන හොඳට ඉගෙන ගන්නවා 16th lesson එකේදී, right? And our 17th lesson will be information management, right? Information management. Here we are discussing how we can manage our information, right? Information is also a very important thing to a business, right? Very important resource to a business, right? So the one who manage information is the one who going to success in the business field, right? Business, the one who get the use of the get the maximum benefit of the information is the one who going to lead the economy, right? Then next one, the next lesson, last lesson, right? Business plan, right? We are discussing, right? We are discussing how we can create a business plan after studying all these things, right? After studying the finances about the business, after studying the environments of the business, right? After studying how we market the business, how we attract the investors to our business, right? We are going to create a business plan. We are going to learn what is business plan, what are the importance of business plan, right? How we can create a creative and most important business plan to a business, right? So those are the things that we are discussing in grade 13, right? I hope you students get a good idea about our entire syllabus, right? We are going to start from this to the next week onwards, right? So these are the syllabus of our business. These are the lessons of our business. These are the contents in our syllabus, right? Students, you can take a screenshot, or else you can write this after watching our recording, right? So it is better if you can take a note while I'm teaching, right? And also at the meantime, I'm also saying, right, when I'm teaching, right, please pay the full attention to that. Right? So if you have the ability, right, මම කියන ගමන් ලියා ගන්න පුළුවන් skill එකක් තියෙනවා නම් විතරක් you can write. හරි? එහෙම නැත්නම් you just pay the full attention to me, and after when you are watching your recording, right, you can actually write the note, right? what set වෙන විදිය trick එකක් වාට set වෙන විදිය ක්‍රමයක් අනුගමනය කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? You can you can make note while I'm teaching, right? Or else, right, you can take the note after the session ended and after the recording, after you when you are watching your recording, right? Recording එක බලද්දි වාට පුළුවන් notes දාගන්න. හරි? So these are the contents, and also now I'm going to discuss the paper structure. Students, now I'm going to discuss the paper structure of our syllabus, right? All right, students. Paper structure. So, students, we have to do two papers, right, in our examination, in 2020 examination, and also all the business studies examinations. We have to do two papers, right? First one is paper number 1, right? Paper 1, right? Then the other one is paper 2, right? Paper 2. right? So you have 2 hours. You have 2 hours to do this, and you have 3 hours and 10 seconds. 3 hours, 3 hours and 10 minutes to do this. 3 hours and plus 10 minutes, right? This 10 minutes for reading, right? You can read. You can use that 10 minutes to read the paper, right? So approximately altogether 3 and 10 minutes, 3 hours and 10 minutes, right? So you only get 2 hours to do paper number one, right? Here, students, right, in paper number one, you are receiving. So even we are for this we are saying like maybe paper MCQ paper kila, right? That is multiple choice question paper, right? Simply we are saying like for part number one we are saying MCQ paper, but see there is only 30 MCQs, right? So you have to do right 30 MCQs, right? You have to do 30 MCQs, and also you have to do right. You have to do 10 filling the blank questions, filling the blanks, right? 10 filling the blanks. Students, the most hardest part of this paper is this, right? From this all together, paper number one and paper number two, right? This is the hardest part. Make it the marum part, students, right? Make it the marum part. If you are not go through our lecture materials, right? Or අපේ lecture materials එක familiar නැත්තම් හරි ඔයාට මේ ලකුණු 10 ගන්න බෑ, right? So you have to always go through our paper materials, right? You have go through our lecture materials, right? Or හැම වෙලේම tunes අරගෙන refer කරන්න ඕනේ. So I might know, right? Sometimes you might be a critical thinking person, right? Or හොඳට creative කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, critical thinking කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, හොඳට answers build කරලා ලියන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But still you can't get good grades if you are not using the your tunes repeatedly. Or tunes නිතරම පරිහරණය කරේ නැත්තම්, right? You can't get this. You can't get correct answers to this 10 questions, right? And also you have 10 short answer questions. Short answers, right? Altogether, how much? 30, 10, 10, and you have 50 questions in this MCQ paper or paper number one, right? Number one, you have 50 questions, and each question is containing 2 marks, and you can get 100 marks for the entire paper number one, right? So you can get 100 marks for the entire paper number one, right? And students, right, for paper number two, right, you have another 2 parts here, right? That is part number one and part two. Part one and part two, right? Students, here in part one, you are receiving 4 questions, right? You have to do not do, right? You are receiving 4 questions, right? So these each question containing 20 marks, right? 20 marks. You can score 20 marks for the all of each of these questions, right? හැම ප්‍රශ්නයකටම ඔයාලට ලකුණු 20 ගානේ හම්බ වෙනවා, right? And in part two, right? In part two, right? Again, you are receiving another 4 questions, right? So question number 5, 6, 7, 8, right? These are also containing 20 marks, right? Right? You can score 20 marks for each question. Students, right? The important thing is, right? The part one will be coming from the grade 12 lessons, right? So we have discussed the grade 12 lessons earlier, right? We are receiving this part one from grade 12 lessons, right? And you are receiving part two from grade 13 lessons. Grade 13 lessons. You are receiving part two from grade 13 lessons, right? So the thing is, students, you have to do altogether 5 questions out of these 8 questions, right? You have to do only 5 questions, right? You have to do only 5 questions out of these 8 questions, right? So each question is containing 20 marks, right? And you can score 100 marks out of this from this paper number 2, right? But this is the way that you can select the questions, right? Either you have to select, right? Either you should select, right, at least 3 questions from part 1 or part 2, right? You have to do at least 3 questions from part 1 or part 2, right? So let's assume you are doing 3 questions from part 1. Then you have to do at least 2 questions from part 2, right? Right. This is the now first combination, right? So let's assume you are doing only 2 questions from part 1. It means you are doing only 2 questions from grade 12, right? And if you are doing only 2 questions from part 1, that means you have to do definitely 3 questions from part 2, right? So either this combination or this combination, right? To score 100 marks, right? You can't do 4 questions from here and only one question from here, or else you can't do 4 questions from here and 1 question from here. You have to definitely do at least 2 questions from each, right? At least 2 questions from each, right? You can select whether you are going to you can write 3 questions from here or here, right? So that is a combination. Definitely, finally you have to write for 5 questions, right? You are receiving 100 marks out of it, right? So now we are going to average our marks, right? So here you can score 100 marks for part 1, right? And also you can score 100 marks for part 2, and we can divide it, and we are getting the grade from 100, right, students? Right? Out of 100, right, your grade will be decided from this number, right? So if your number is below 35, right, if your number is below 35, right, you got F, right, and that means you failed the exam, right? And if you got, right, between 50 marks to 35, between 50 to 35, you can get S pass, right? If you are getting between 65 to 50, right? If you are getting marks between 65 to 50, right, you can get a C grade, right? And if you are scoring between 75 to 65, right, you can get B plus, right? But we are not working for this AFS C and B. We are just only working for this between 100 and 75, right? That means it is a A pass, right? Right. Our only expectation is this, right? We are working only for this, right? I hope you got a clear idea about our paper structure, right? So, students, this is how we are going to do our academics, right? So, the next week we are going to discuss the first lesson, right? I'm giving you an overview about the first lesson now, right? And we are directly going to do the first lesson in the next week, right? So you can take your time to take a screenshot of this paper structure and uh, remember the structure, and also definitely you have to prepare a note for this, and I'm requesting you notes tomorrow, right? You can take tonight and tomorrow morning for prepare notes, right? And you can send me the notes tomorrow evening. Definitely you have to do that, right? Okay. Okay, I hope you got a screenshot. Screenshot එකක් ගත්ත කියලා මම හිතනවා. So I'm going to clean the board again to discuss the introduction to the business. First lesson. We are going to take a initiative to discuss our lessons. All right, students. Lesson number one. We are just getting an overview today, right? We are studying. We are learning in the next week, right? So here in the lesson number one, right? We know the topic is introduction to the business. Students, we are discussing here, right? Some different concepts in business, right? There are some different concepts in business, right? One is business organization, right? We have to discuss what is business, right? Here's my black pen. What is business? So, when we are defining a business, right? I'm not going use the definitions now, right? When we are defining a business, right? It is something that fulfilling human requirements, right? So, what are the human requirements? We have needs and wants, students. You have some sort of idea about what are the needs of us, right? What are the wants of us, right? So, students, needs are actually things that we definitely fulfill in our life, right? To our survival, right? Needs are something that we definitely fulfill in our life, right? Don't take these things seriously, right? I'm giving you these things properly in the next week in a proper manner, right? With definitions, right? Just take some idea of what is this business studies and what is a business is all about, right? So business is something that fulfilling human needs and wants. So actually needs are our definite requirements, right? Those are the things that we should fulfill to live our life, right? And the wants are the ways that we are fulfilling our needs, students, right? As an example, right? Food is our need, right? Food is our need, right? As a want, right? The way we are fulfilling our food will be rice and curry. The most common thing in Sri Lanka, no? Rice and curry. And it might be string hoppers, and it might be any cereal, right? Cereal, right? So these are the alternatives that we can fulfill needs, right? These are the ways that we are fulfilling needs, right? So business is what? Business is all about fulfilling human needs and wants through production, supplying, and providing services, right? So business is what? Business is simply an economic activity. So we are going to discuss these concepts, right? Here we are discussing needs, wants, right? Business, right? And demand, right? These are the things that we are going to discuss next week, right? Demand, right? And also industries. What is an industry, right? And so forth, right? So, students, these are the things that we are going to discuss in the next week, right? So I'm going to wind up the session, right? Hope you got a good, clear overview about what we are going to learn entire 2 years, right? Within in these 2 years, we are going to discuss these things. And as I already said, students, right? Please cooperate with me. Please communicate with me. Always give your full attention to me, right? I have show you the pathway, right? So this is the pathway that we are going to travel, students, right? So if you have any feedback, right, please. I think you have my number. Right? This is my number. Not 7687 not 1 and not 85, right? This is my personal contact number, right? And also if you are having any technical issues or anything related to the class, right, you can message this number, not 7 4 21 52 and 160, right? So this is our admin number, right? So please contact me for any subject related matters, and if you want to learn anything about the class, you can contact this number, right? Okay, students, let's wind up the session for today, right? So next week onwards, right? Let's give it a shot, right? We are going to smash it, right? We are going to smash the level, right? So yeah, hope you good luck with your level, students. Right then, good night, students.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.